Should he win a second term, the Congressional Budget Office says by the end of his term, we will be $20 trillion in debt. Can I tell you what $1 trillion is? If you take $1 million, which I think is a lot of money, if you take $1 million and convert dollars to seconds of time, that would equal 11 and a half days. If you take $1 billion, which is way money, $1 billion would equal 32 years. So 11 and a half days, 32 years. But if you take $1 trillion and convert it to seconds of time, 32,000 years. So when I say that we had $8 trillion of debt and that was heart palpitating, it really was. But to Speaker Pelosi, hey, it's $6 trillion more. So what? You're going to pay for it. That's her attitude. And that's President Obama's attitude. And for some reason, we're not compassionate if we're not spending that kind of money. The compassionate people, I would submit, are those who care enough about the next 21 generations, that they don't want to stick them, their children, with that debt, the way that the beautiful lady, and I'm sorry I can't remember your name, who won the award tonight, told her grandson, because she cared enough about him. I think it's safe to say you are such beautiful, kind-hearted, sweet people in this room. That's not what you want for the next 21 generations. That's not what my great-great-great-grandparents wanted for me when they rolled the dice and left Norway and did everything they could to get here and make it. And that's how I feel about our 5 and our 23 foster children. That's how you feel about yours too. And that's why I'm so confident that we are going to change things, because the window of opportunity is slight. Now, it's sobering. It is very sobering, because we've made a down payment this year by pulling back the House of Representatives in conservative hands. It's a down payment. But Montana, I am telling you this, you have to elect Denny Rehberg, your senator. You have to elect him, because we have to have a conservative Senate in 2012. We have to make it happen. You must do this. You must. I get up and breathe in the morning because I am thankful that I'm redeemed by the blood of the Lamb. And I thank him for what he has done for me. That's why I get up and breathe in the morning, and for my husband, and for our children. But I take my first political breath every morning with one thought in mind: repeal Obamacare. That's my motivation in life. Repeal Obamacare. And I'm so thankful for our docs that are in the room tonight that are out speaking against Obamacare. We need more of you. Thank you for being here tonight, you doctors that are against Obamacare. This bill is something else. It is the crown jewel of socialism. And we have seen President Obama, and I'm willing to say it, usher in socialism under his watch. What would you call it? What would you call it? Unfortunately, under President Bush, he put into place the $700 billion bailout. I voted against that $700 billion bailout. I asked Hank Paulson, our Treasury Secretary at the time, prove it. Prove it that it's going to be the end of the world if we don't give you, for the first time in history, a blank check for $700 billion made payable to our Treasury Secretary, Hank Paulson, to spend as you like. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. I want to know, will we really fall apart if we don't give you this blank check? I didn't believe it. I got no evidence from him that that's the case that it would be, and so I voted against that bill. What was that $700 billion used for? Among other things, the United States government went on a socialist spending spree like you have never seen. We've bought the largest banks in America, Citibank, Bank of America. We still own these banks. There is no exit strategy at this time for us to get out of those banks. We bought the largest insurance company in the United States, AIG. We've poured billions down that rat hole. And we still own the largest insurance company, and there is no exit strategy to get out. Then President-elect Obama said to George Bush, give me, what was it, $17 billion for the car bailout, something like that. And unfortunately, President Bush gave Barack Obama that money because President-elect Obama said, President Bush, if you don't give me this $17 billion or whatever it was, Chrysler will go into bankruptcy, and so will GM. Does anybody remember? They went into bankruptcy about 10 minutes after they got that money. So now we, the federal government, still own Chrysler and GM. We own the largest banks in America. We own the largest insurance company in America. The government owns the largest car companies in America and bailed out the unions that the management made contracts with that they had no business making with them, and now we, the taxpayers, have bailed them out. Then after that, we bought lock, stock, and barrel Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And these aren't just crazy aunts and uncles that you put up in your attic somewhere. These are the largest secondary mortgage insurance companies in America, which means the federal government today owns over 50% of all private home mortgages in this country. In other words, if you have a mortgage on your home, over 50% of you, your home is owned by the federal government. After that came the government takeover of the entire student loan program. It used to be 100% private. Now it's 100% owned by your government. That's the next bubble, by the way, the college debt bubble. All these students that are out there taking out $50,000 a year and then trying to go into this job market, this is very concerning that the federal government took this over. How much you want to bet if these kids can't pay back these loans, Denny, they're going to be coming back to us for a bailout? Of course that's exactly what's going to happen. Loan forgiveness. Are you kidding me? Then they took over 1/6 of the economy with Obamacare. And that has been our story. The government takeover of private industry. Did you ever think in your lifetime that you would live to see the day when the federal government owns the largest banks, insurance company, more than 50% of the mortgage, the largest car companies, healthcare, and the student loan industry? And as if that wasn't enough, because the president's been a little greedy, you might say, the president couldn't get cap and trade through the Congress. Even Congress was embarrassed to pass that. And so he decided, I'm going to snap my fingers, and we're going to put it into place through the EPA. And so that's what's happening right now. They're putting into place cap and trade. And you may have read in the Wall Street Journal last week or so that the EPA is also busy implementing another regulation. Remember the big BP oil spill down in the Gulf of Mexico? Well, they decided to take that rule for containing oil spills and apply it, now I'm absolutely serious, get ready, to spilled milk on dairy farms. Oh yes, oh yes. This is a real tragedy now all across the United States when you have a milk can and you spill a little on the ground. And so now dairy producers all across the United States have to put together a management plan under pain of fine from the federal government because, you see, there's a bureaucrat in the EPA that found out that milk contains, I know it's going to be a shock, butterfat. Butterfat. And you never know what kind of an oil spill you could have with butterfat. Hazardous waste. Well, I will tell you, I have always been afraid of butterfat. Always been afraid of butterfat, especially ice cream. You know what it does to a girl's figure. It's hazardous, hazardous. But we have Michelle Obama. She can worry about that now. She can worry about butterfat for all of us. Right? Do we ever do think?